Hey Scrappers, it's Tom from the iScrap app, and wherever you're watching us this week, we welcome you to our weekly report, where you can learn about scrap metal prices, news, ask us questions about materials, or ask our advice on the markets. If you're looking to ask those questions, ask us whether it's live or after, and we'll always get you those answers. Come on in, let's go talk scrap.
Hey Scrappers, Tom from the iScrap app, and today is Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. We hope that you're doing well, that you enjoyed Cinco de Mayo last week. We had Star Wars and all the fun stuff that we had going on, but we hope that you're doing good and staying busy. We know that the markets have certainly been on the downside, which is what we've been predicting, and that's why in this week's episode of Hold or Sell, we probably are going to tell you a bunch of different things, but you have to continue to stay tuned for the rest of it. But here we are. Markets are retreating. One of the reasons that the markets are retreating, I mean, copper, for instance, has fallen about 65 cents in the last week and a half. A lot of different factors going on. So instead of just thinking that the scrap yards are screwing you and pulling out prices, quickly, they're not, right? Maybe some of them are, but overall the market has dropped, and that's because of the Chinese lockdowns. I mean, you have major cities like Shanghai, Beijing, and Wuhan, and all these other places. They have no one moving. They have people locked in their apartments to eradicate COVID. And with the Chinese continuing to consume 50% of the world's copper, what do you think is going to happen when such a large market stops consuming copper, or as much copper as normal? There's going to be a buildup of supply. The demand is still there, but as that supply builds up, warehouses, scrap yards, furnaces can only recycle so much at a time, and if people aren't working to be able to take that new copper from the recycled material, they're not going to be able to make it into new products. So that's one of the reasons that you have seen some of these prices dipping down. Now in front of me I have the iScrap app in and of itself. We're going to talk about some prices, and when we're looking at them, I'm just going to show you some things to look for so you know more about the app. But this week, when it comes to copper, I'm a little bearish. I would tell you to hold some materials. If you click on something like Bear Bright Copper, you can see a little chart here of where the market has been. We saw some higher prices. A few weeks ago, we saw over $4 per pound as an average, and then you've seen that quick sell-off in the last few days. We saw some prices reported here, and all of a sudden you started to see these pullbacks coming. And these pullbacks shouldn't be a surprise. If you scroll down on the app, you'll be able to see, all these different prices that are getting reported. Here's some prices from yesterday: $3, $3.10, $3.60. These are real prices where all of a sudden things change. You might see a higher price like $4.50. This is a yard that's out of Canada, so that's in Canadian dollars. And what you will see here is some green check marks, means that these are members of the iScrap app, and a lot of their prices are either updated by themselves or more reliable. So when you're looking at some of the markets, you'll be able to look at some of the top metal prices, click below, and you'll just be able to scroll to see where some of the markets are. Overall, we have seen a decline in all markets across the map, from aluminum to stainless steel to catalytic converters. We know that someone spoke up last week and said, "Tom, you didn't talk about cats." Well, I'll talk about cats today. Average catalytic converter price right now is around $165. These are small GM cats. Different prices, of course, are out there. No one has reported these, but these are prices that we've been able to use through rrcats.com just to give you an idea of where some of these markets are. But overall, we've seen some really downward prices, even though we saw an upward market today. Overall, these markets are still a little bit on the decline. You can see number one tubing, national averages 325. But one of the things that's been going on with the catalytic converters is we have had big problems with the palladium, rhodium, and platinum recycling market, because again, where are some of these materials going? Not only are the Chinese on lockdowns, you also have this Russian-Ukrainian conflict continuing to wreak havoc on a lot of the PGM markets. Those PGM prices are going to affect the catalytic converters. Just to give you an idea, about 2.5 years ago, we saw some average prices for catalytic converters around $105, $110 each. Then we went all the way up to $200 $235, $255 in May of 2021, and today we have an average price $165, $170 per cat. So, markets are down. rrcats.com continuing to hold your quoted prices for 10 business days. I mean, think about that. You have a market where you get quoted $200 on a cat today. You have 10 days, including a weekend in there, to be able to get a better idea. If you're looking here at rrcats.com, here we have a list of some average prices for many catalytic converters. Here, large foreigns on average around $208, but a 30-day running average $278. Just gives you an idea by looking at this chart where the market has gone, up, down, So these are things that are going on right now, which you got to watch this stuff. We have some real big declines in the markets overall, and with these declines in the market, you're going to see quick pullbacks, but that's why having your price held for 10 days is just so critical. So, other things going on with the markets: oil and gas and diesel prices. Oh my, we are seeing crazy markets, all-time high on gas, all-time high on diesel prices. Why is this so important? A, it stinks to fill your car, truck, or any other vehicle up right now. B, what you're going to start to see is more consumers getting squeezed. Think about it. Kellogg's has a truckload full of cereal that they need to deliver to a distribution center. That distribution center has to unload it, move it with forklifts, load it on other trucks. You have all these different pieces involved. What are happening? Transportation costs are going up. Transportation costs go up. That box of cereal is either going to become smaller at the same price, or the price is going to go up for the same size box. That's what happens when you have nincompoops managing the economy right now. When you have different things happening that are affecting these prices, they really have a domino effect that ripples through the markets. Diesel prices are getting hammered. Truckers are not happy. When truckers aren't happy, they charge more to offset their fuel costs because they're not just going to eat this. I mean, I own a bunch of large roll-off trucks that get between 4 and 7 miles per gallon. So if we run 200 miles a day per truck at, let's just say, 5 miles per gallon, what are we looking at? 20 gallons times $6.50. It's $130 a day per truck. A year ago, it was $70. So when you multiply that across, you have humongous changes in the markets that we haven't had in recent memory. And even with the scrap prices running up, we've seen such an influx of material with those high steel prices that a lot of these mills, these furnaces, these export markets can only accommodate so much scrap. And we had such a push the first 3 months of the year. Seeing these pullbacks is not a surprise, but that's why we do these weekly reports. I was on YouTube earlier today checking out comments, and I was seeing what people were thinking, talking about, reflecting on. And a lot of people were thanking us because we were telling you what's going on in the market in a transparent way. Well, by going on the iScrap app, by checking out the price list, by updating prices, it's as easy as clicking on a metal, going to submit a price, entering something in. You could type in the name of your yard. Something's going to pop up, and from there you can type in how much you received for number 2 unprepared. And just by taking that and posting it, it gives you the ability to know what's going on with the market and lets other people know what's going on with the markets. You can see electronic pricing, you can see non-ferrous pricing, ferrous markets, and you can see red means the prices are down, green means that the prices are up, and these are day over day. This isn't month over month. If you're looking to get quotes on catalytic converters, you can always go right to the quoting form where you can conveniently get prices right through the app. If you're looking to learn more, you can always check out how to scrap your old car, sell your catalytic converter, or submit prices. On top of that, on the home page of our app, we have all of our previous week's reports, and by just clicking on these things, you're going to be able to read a little bit about what's going on in the markets, and on top of that, you'll be able to just see the video from our previous week if you missed it. Makes it nice and easy. We're always having our videos on YouTube, but there's all types of different articles that you can read about different wire strippers, catalytic converters, top 25 scrap metals, and if you're looking to learn more, you can always click on our metal guide. Our metal guide has has hundreds of metals, and learning about those metals will help you make more money. Now, learning about the metals is important. Learning about the markets will help you learn more about the metals. What's worth it, what isn't. Generally I have, hold or sell every single week. And on steel right now, I have sell on light iron, I have sell on shred. And I read a comment earlier today on YouTube talking about a gentleman that said he does not pick up light iron when the prices hit $90 a ton or less because it never makes extra money, because then he has to unload it, wait to hold and save. And that's why we do what we do, by pushing information out there and telling you, listen, don't hold light iron, don't touch it twice. If it's in your truck, if it's in your roll-off, if it's in your dump truck, your trailer, whatever it is, unload that at the yard, pull whatever non-ferrous is on it out. A washing machine, for instance, a perfect example of something you shouldn't be touching more than 2 times. The first time is when it gets loaded. The second time is when it gets unloaded. But one thing that you should do with that washing machine, check out a video on things to look for that you can make more money on. Sometimes the tubs where the clothes go in are made of stainless steel. They're connected to an electric motor. There's a low-grade circuit board behind that makes all those buttons work, and some wiring underneath. These are ways that you can upgrade your material so you're getting rid of that shred, getting rid of that light iron at whatever the price is, but you cashed in on the non-ferrous. That's called a win-win situation. You're making more money up front, not touching things later on, and that's why we do these weekly reports. Now, other problems that are going on with the inflation looking to creep its head up again. We saw the month over month go a little down from 8.5% to 8.4%. What does that mean to people that don't know? That everything today across the spectrum, they take 300 items and they price them out each month. By pricing 300 items out, from milk to dairy to a gallon of gas, they compare what it was to a year ago. So in April 2022 compared to April 2021, prices across the spectrum of 300 items have increased 8.4%. Why is that important? Federal Reserve is trying to bring down that inflationary number. They're trying to take money out of the market, all that money that was printed, that people loved, that free money the last year and a half. Well, free money is never free. And what happens? You're seeing it unravel in front of your face. Gas prices up. Now you have copper and aluminum prices going down. And that's because the dollar has to gain. And when the dollar gains value by taking more dollars out of the market, commodities go down. That's the method. That's what happens. So when the US just kept printing money like it was a new fashionable thing, right? Whether it was either administration, they're both to blame. You had commodity prices increase because commodities are a stable factor across the world. But when the US wants to reel a lot of those dollars back in, what's going to happen? A domino effect. And that's what you're seeing with fuel, with commodities, and with this inflationary problem. And the current administration wants to spend more money to solve a problem when that doesn't really make much sense. So who the heck knows where commodities are going to go for the rest of the year? The one thing that I do know, do not expect to pay less for gas for the next 2.5 years. The market is adjusting to this. We don't know where the copper and other metal prices are going to land, but it certainly isn't going to be as good as it was in 2021. But that's why you tune in every week to learn about the markets. Scrappers, my name is Tom. I'm from the iScrap app. We've been doing this since 2011, showing you not only how to make more money with your scrap, but teaching you what's going on with the markets. We want to hear your ideas, your thoughts, your opinions, and questions you have for us so we can attack them week after week and create more transparency inside of the scrap metal industry. Until next week, scrappers, today is May 11th, 2022, and I'll scrap you later.
Thanks for checking out our scrap videos. By becoming a Patreon supporter today, you'll be entered into monthly giveaways for tools and other products to help you make more money with your scrap.